You've probably heard that AI is going to cause a rise in unemployment.
A new report is sounding the alarm over the impact of artificial intelligence.
Where 60% of roles will be affected.
I think no job is safe.
And you've probably only heard those calls get louder as tools like ChatGPT and other types of generative AI have been released. I'm here to argue that AI is not going to cause a rise in unemployment. I think it's actually increased employment in the United States, not decreased it. And I think understanding why is really important to understanding how the labor market works and what to expect for the future of American jobs. When ChatGPT was first released, you probably heard the extremely doomsday takes that unemployment was going to rise very quickly and that was going to drastically change the macroeconomy. Well, it's been more than a year since ChatGPT is released, and the unemployment rate in the United States has stayed the same. In fact, if you look at employment in the US, it's near some of the highest levels on record. And they've only increased over the last few years since the start of the pandemic. And the economy has gone through tectonic economic shifts before. Think the rise of the smartphone, or the rise of the internet, or the rise of the phone in the first place. Or even things as simple as elevator buttons that put elevator operators out of work. These created new jobs that more than replaced the jobs lost by technological change. In fact, if you look at data from the US Census Bureau on one of the most comprehensive surveys of businesses in America, the vast majority of businesses said that AI has not affected their employment levels at all. And if you look at the subset of businesses that said AI affected their employment levels, the majority said that it increased the number of people they had on staff, not decreased. Humans aren't just tools, and the economy as a whole is a social construct built to benefit humans. People as individuals seek the most valuable work they can do to get the biggest pay they can have, and they naturally find the kind of jobs that are valuable to others. That's not to say that all industries and all occupations are going to be completely unaffected. There's going to be a shift away from the kind of work that AI is able to do exceptionally well and towards the kind of work that humans can specialize in. Predicting what that work is a lot harder than you think. Go back 5 years, go back 10 years, people were most worried about autonomous vehicles that could put truck drivers out of work in the future. Fast forward to today, people are most worried about white-collar jobs in offices and businesses, not truck drivers. Keep in mind, there's always been job churn in the US economy. Millions of people are laid off every year, millions more are hired, and millions quit their jobs to find something better. That job churn is a natural part of how the US economy works. And we should, as a country, care about the people who lose their jobs because they're here today, not because we're worried about AI possibly causing unemployment in the future.
Want to dive deeper? Become a Big Think member and join our members-only community, watch videos early, and unlock full interviews.
I get asked a lot about supplements, and it's a really big and sometimes even confusing topic. And in addition, there are so many ads that come to us all the time on social media, either clear ads where someone's, pushing a vitamin, or soft ads where an influencer is just talking about it off the cuff and you don't actually know if it was paid for or not.
Like if you want to optimize your health, supplements are very beneficial.
Very beneficial, but I think for you and me, it's a duh. But I think.
So the truth is there are very few supplements that have good evidence-based medicine to support them. And the term supplement is really meant to be a dietary supplement, meaning something that is supplementing a dietary shortfall. The greatest example is probably prenatal vitamins. There is good evidence-based medicine to support using prenatal vitamins because the average person doesn't get enough folate and other micronutrients in their diet to support a real healthy pregnancy. Another common one is if you have iron deficiency anemia. It's really hard to get enough iron from your diet to treat that. And so we might recommend an iron supplement. So those are what we would consider sort of the kind of evidence-based examples. And that is not an inclusive list, but that's how to think about it. Then there's this other class of supplements, meaning a reported medical benefit. Although in the United States, supplement companies can't actually say their product does anything. They all have these little FDA disclaimers. But that might be some things that are grounded in pretty good science, or good science even. So magnesium to treat constipation. But there's also things that aren't grounded in good science, like black cohosh for hot flashes. Another common one that we see all the time is biotin for hair growth, but there's no data to support that. So there's a wide range of things that are potentially have good science behind them and things that have no science behind them, and things that might be kind of in between. And then there are another category of supplements where there's a whole bunch of vitamins and minerals and herbals and botanicals all lumped together in a product where there's an insinuation that there's some kind of benefit for your organ or for your health, like ovary support or adrenal support or thyroid support or metabolism booster or fat burner. And none of these are studied in any meaningful way. And many of them are actually adulterated. And that is one big concern with supplements, is you do not know what you are getting. So how do you decide? 3 ways to think about supplements. 1, is this something you really need to take? Is there good evidence to support it? Well, you want to ask your doctor if the supplement you want to take falls in a good recommendation. Or places to look would be the CDC, Centers for Disease Control. If it's for a reproductive health issue, it might be the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. And also in the US government has the Office of Dietary Supplements. Number 2, who is recommending this to you? Is it someone who's selling a product, or is this someone saying, these are the recommendations of multiple medical societies? So look at the source of the recommendation. And number 3, you want to take a product that has been tested by a third party. For example, a USP verified label means that there's been third party checking. That's really the best that we can do, because in the United States, we don't have the ability of the government to require testing for purity. And be very wary about Ayurvedic products, because they are actually very likely to be contaminated with lead. About 20% of them are, especially with products that are for libido, for metabolism, for sport enhancement. Those products have a much higher risk of contamination. This is a huge problem, and it's important because 1, you want to make sure that the product you're taking isn't contaminated with heavy metals or mold or fungi or things like that, but you also want to make sure it contains what it claims. And that's actually why pharmaceuticals have a standard, so none of these things happen. They get tested, and that doesn't happen with supplements.
Want to dive deeper? Become a Big Think member and join our members-only community, watch videos early, and unlock full interviews.
Part of what's happening now in the world is this kind of tension between organic animals, we are organic animals, and an inorganic digital system, which is increasingly controlling and shaping the entire world. Now, part of being an organic entity is that you live by cycles, day and night, winter and summer, growth and decay. Sometimes you're active, sometimes you need to relax, you need to rest. Now, algorithms and AIs and computers, they are not organic, they never need rest. They are on all the time. And the big question is whether we adapt to them or they adapt to us. And more, of course, we have to adapt to them. We have to be on all the time. So the news cycle is always on. And everything we say, even when we are supposedly relaxing with friends, it can be public. So the whole of life becomes like this one long job interview, that any stupid thing you did in some college party when you're 18, it can meet you down the road 10, 20 years later. And this is destructive to how we function. You even think about the market. Like Wall Street, as far as I know, it's open Monday to Fridays, 9:30 to 4 in the afternoon. Like if on Friday at 4 a new war erupts in the Middle East, the market will react only on Monday. It is still running by organic cycles. Now, what would happen to human bankers and financiers, and so what is happening when the market is always active? You can never relax.
Have you talked to folks like Sam Altman, who runs OpenAI, or the folks at Microsoft? I know Bill Gates was a big fan of your books in the past, or the folks at Google. What do they say when you discuss this with them? And do you trust them? When you've met them, do you go, I trust you, Sam Altman?
Most of them are afraid. They understand.
Afraid of you or afraid of AI?
Yeah, afraid of what they are doing, afraid of what is happening. They understand better than anybody else the potential, including the destructive potential of what they are creating, and they are very afraid of it. At the same time, their basic shtick is that I'm a good guy and I'm very concerned about it. Now you have these other guys, they are bad, they don't have the same kind of responsibility that I have, so it would be very bad for humanity if they create it first, so I must be the one who creates it first, and you can trust me that I will at least do my best to keep it under control. And everybody are saying it, and I think that to some extent they are genuine about it. There is, of course, also this another element in there of extreme kind of pride and hubris that they are doing the most important thing in basically not just the history of humanity, the history of life.
Do you think they are?
They could be, yes. If you think about the timeline of the universe, at least as far as we know it. So you have basically two stops. First stop, 4 billion years ago, the first organic life forms emerge on planet Earth. And then for 4 billion years, nothing major happens. Like for 4 million years, it's more of the same. It's more organic stuff. So you have amoebas, and you have dinosaurs, and you have humans, but it's all organic. And then here comes Elon Musk or Sam Altman and does the second important thing in the history of the universe, the beginning of inorganic evolution. Because AI is just at the very, very beginning of its evolutionary process. It's basically like 10 years old, 15 years old. We haven't seen anything yet. GPT-4 and all these things, they are the amoebas of AI evolution. And who knows how the AI dinosaurs are going to look like. But the name on the inflection point of the history of the universe, if that name is Elon Musk, or that name is Sam Altman, that's a big thing.
Want to dive deeper? Become a Big Think member and join our members-only community, watch videos early, and unlock full interviews.